Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. It's Monday. How was your weekend? Did you have a good one? I had a good one. It was fight night on Saturday night and some great fights. Enjoyed that. Yeah, good weekend. How was yours? So this morning I'm going to be doing a live twin flame reading. See what the guides have to tell us this morning. I'm also going to be giving mini reads, or I think so. Nobody's booked in for them this time. I haven't got any pre-booked. So if you want one of those while I'm live, then you can book it. If you're watching the replay, book in as well, because I'll do it in the next show and send you the link to the replay for your one question reading. So there's a link in the chat, in the live chat, to book in for one of those one question readings. Get them in at any point along the way during this show, and I'll do that for you. So let's get straight into it. We've got chicken catches in today. You can see her feet there. She's having a wash. She's got nuts on her legs apparently. Just giving them a good chew. So she's in the house. I've been for a run this morning. I had my hair done. And I like to do a hair treatment after I've had my hair done. You know, the Olaplex number 3 stuff. And I've got this new thing. It started last week because I do it before I get my hair done as well. Where I get up in the morning, if I'm up early and I want to go on a run, get up in the morning, wet my hair in the kitchen sink, and then put Olaplex number 3 on it, and then go up and put it up in a top knot, all wet and covered in hair treatment, and then go for my run for half an hour. And when I get back, it's ready to wash off and do the rest of it. It works really well. It's good, better than wasted time that it usually has when I'm doing treatment like that, where I'm just sat watching videos or doing or whatever. Let's get some cards out. Twin flames, what's going on? Twin flames, what's going on? We've got the star, a feeling of hopefulness. Hopefulness that wishes can come true. It's a wistful kind of a feeling, the star card. Hope. Hoping for what? Hoping for change. I'm talking to someone at the moment. I really like him, in fact. It's a shame he's on another island. But I might go and see him. I might go and see him before my dentist appointment, in fact. We banter a lot, and I really do like his energy. He's really funny. He's Italian. King of Wands. Oh, the female version of the King of Wands. I want to read this out of the book. Don't know why. Because my usual King of Wands, feminine version of the King of Wands, might not be the take the guides want to give us today on it. Female version of the King of Wands. Here we go. Female King of Wands. Woman all dressed in red, all dressed up in red, is standing in the midst of a garden. The deep colour of her cape and the red rose stand for passion, strength and energy. Tall plants are growing next to her and surround her, leaving very little space. In this dense atmosphere, the female king brings light and clarity with her wand. A bright beam of shining stars emerges out of the wand and illuminates the sky. Against all obstacles and complexities, the King of Wands will always find a solution and a way to move forward, leading the people out of the darkness, leading herself out of the darkness. But it is like leadership. It's feminine being in a leadership kind of a role, moving herself forward. So that seems to say the combination of both, the star. Well, let's read the star while I've got the book. Let's do it. 17. Star card shows a male figure with the large wings of a dragonfly. It sits on a palace balcony of the Taj Mahal, a symbol of inspiration and eternal love. The figure holds a wand with a bright shining star and looks into the sky. After the life-shaking experience with the tower, his experienced spiritual transformation is now filled with hope and faith. His star will lead the way and his wings will uplift him to a high level. Inspiration, vision, hope, restoration, release, optimism, harmony. So from that place, it seems like the feminine, the divine feminine isn't just waiting, because we've got the King of Wands and the feminine after it. She's not just waiting for something to happen. She's not just being hopeful and waiting for something to happen. She's actually taking action on it. And we did have that kind of an energy in the energy update today as well. Lots of aces in the energy update today. New starts and stuff like that. But there is something for the feminine to do. She can't just be in receptive mode, apparently. So tell us all about it. What do we need to do? The Tower. Da, da, da. Wow. I made a bit of a move this weekend to find something out. And what I found out was kind of good in a way, because it was kind of shutting me down to somebody. It's interesting, isn't it, when you get to know people, when you're just like in that stage of getting to know. I need to put some stuff on my hands. They're very dry. Just as you're getting to know somebody, I mean, sussing them out, getting to know them. What are they like? What kind of a person are they? They might be a match to me, but they might not be a match to me. I need to know more. That kind of an energy. I've been in that state, just checking someone out, and I'm like, I need to be more direct, because I'm only seeing this person in certain situations, and I don't really know what they're like. And so I asked a question, and it gave me more of an insight in what they're really like as a person. It's nothing bad, it's just, I'm not sure it's for me, that kind of person. Anyway, the Tower. Oh, that's what it could be talking about here. The Tower. On this card we see a woman grasping a tower, attempting to prevent it from collapsing. But the tower, which is situated on a volcano, is already beginning to explode. And there's nothing that can stop the destruction. A big crack is splitting the building, and rocks and dark ash fill the air. The woman's hair is turned into smoke, and so she's unable to extricate herself from this traumatic event. Yet the tower may represent falsehoods and deceptions that need to be destroyed. Abrupt change, fall from grace, traumatic event, crisis, chaos. So when the feminine takes action, it might just bring things crashing to the ground. And it doesn't have to be traumatic. I mean, like I was saying, for me, I asked a question and it told me who they are. It's nothing bad either. It's just yeah, I'm not sure that personality type is really for me, kind of thing. So it's good. It's good to have more clarity on someone, right? Anyway, so things could come crashing down as you take action. But it's a good thing, because it allows you to move on. Five of Swords. I keep reading it from the book because it's there. It allows you to move on. It allows you to see things clearly. Five of Swords. We see a couple after a struggle. The man has lost the fight and turned himself away into the shadows. He's mentally wounded, and his hurt feelings have been mended with 5 scarlet stitches. The woman won the fight, and stands in the spotlight. She's wearing a red dress, which symbolizes the drama and emotional conflict the fight was about. In one hand, she holds a fragment of her opponent's wounds. In the other hand, she holds a large flower, symbolizing her triumph. The flower hides half of her face, indicating that she's not played fair and wanted to win at all cost, no matter how much pain she caused. Yikes. So, interesting card, hey? This speaks of sabotage to me now. It speaks of sabotage. So, Divine Feminines, you're feeling hopeful, but are you really hopeful? Because this says, King of Wands, you take some action, you make a move, and then that causes things to fall apart. Now, that sounds like sabotage, doesn't it? That's what we do. That's what sabotage is. We do something, and it causes things to fall apart. Sometimes it's subconscious that we do that thing. So this could be leading you know when you test somebody and they fail a test, and so you can go, well, that's it then. Sometimes the test was for them to fail it. Because sometimes it's easier to go, nah, they're not the one for me. Sometimes that's a sabotage, us wanting to see the red flag. So we think we're hopeful, but really we're not. We're pessimistic, wanting to see the red flag, give somebody a test, they fail the test, and we go, well, there we go then. And it wasn't a fair fight. Hey, Belle, good morning. It wasn't a fair fight, is what this is saying, this card is saying. So just watch out of actions that you're taking. Sometimes we're more comfortable with our status quo of not being in connection, or, you know, finding reasons not to be in connection, finding reasons to cut them off or stuff like that. Tell us more. And it's all about the divine feminine this time. Or if it's about the divine masculine, switch it around. But it's definitely toxic feminine kind of traits, this emotional manipulation and stuff like that. We have the Three of Cups next. Let's read it. I haven't used this book a lot. The Three of Cups. It's a bright sunny day. Three women are celebrating their friendship and spending time together as a united group. They're having fun playing with the three hoops that connect them and bind them together in their appreciation, honour and respect for one another. Each woman is unique, yet they all share common goals and a sense of camaraderie. Celebration community. So there could be something about being, say like in this group here, group of us, being the ones all kind of in the same situation. There might be something drawing you back to that, drawing you to singlehood, that kind of thing. If anyone wants a mini read, one question reading, then you can book in at any point along the way for this live show. There's a link to it. If you've got a question, personal question for your higher self or your guides. Next is a Six of Pentacles. That's where the reciprocal energy is at, right? With friends. Yep. More reciprocation with friends at the moment. Might just be hindering yourself with the actions that you're taking. Ten of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Weighing up the options, keeping a balance for the Ten of Cups for your heart's happiness. Okay, so keeping a balance for your heart's happiness. So it's talking about friendships here, and that's your kind of reciprocal place at the moment that's making your heart happy. There might be a pull to still be single, even though you're hopeful of coming into union with your twin flame. Still a pull to becoming single. This is saying don't be surprised if you're kind of sabotaging yourself in this at the moment with action you take, even though you're hopeful. The universal energies and your energy might actually be pointing towards you still being single and yet and enjoying friendships and developing yourself in those at the moment. Hi, Harmony. So let me know if you're resonating with this. I want to know more about the action to take. So let's have a look at these tarot cards. Tell us about these actions then that the feminine's taking. Yeah, we've got to be careful, you know, when we're going through our healing process about relationships, we learn to see the red flags better, right? So we can avoid pain and so that we can choose better for ourselves in relationship. But it can get us to the point of setting traps for red flags. Setting traps, which delves into toxic feminine territory. Toxic feminine, some of that being emotional manipulation, getting our own way through emotional manipulation. We're smart. Women are smart that way. Last night I had a Isan pork Thai pizza. It was interesting, but it wasn't worth it. Whenever I eat anything like that, it hurts. It really hurts my stomach. My stomach just cannot digest pizza. That combination of stuff, ouch. And yeah, it wasn't worth it. It was interesting, but it wasn't worth it for the pain it gave me. My stomach's still not right this morning. Queen of Swords. And then, of course, but the Italian that I'm talking to at the moment is a chef. And so he's got an Italian restaurant. And so I was messaging him about it, just to wind him up. Queen of Swords is about our boundaries, our empowerment, our learning to say no, our noticing red flags and things like that and having boundaries to it. Four of Swords is about healing. And the Five of Pentacles, being left alone. It is, it's all speaking out. This is all speaking out about setting traps or red flags. So being that clued up about red flags that were almost setting traps for them. So they can't do anything but show us a red flag because we're leading them to showing us a red flag. Now we've all got red flags in ourselves, right? This is kind of one in itself, isn't it? The avoidance of relationship through setting traps so that they'll always trip up so you can say no. So we've got too much into the Queen of Swords energy, some of us, is what this is saying. Got too good at discerning the ones that we shouldn't be with. Then there's none left. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is about loving and nurturing and being very stable in that. Five of Pentacles is saying so it's leaving us alone. It's causing us to be alone. Okay, then we've got the King of Swords. Right, so the King of Swords is the masculine with clarity. The masculine that knows what they want. Also with their boundaries. Ace of Swords, on a mission. Man on a mission. Got clarity, knows what he wants, and a man on a mission. Seven of Swords is the deception. Okay, now we're into the masculine. Man on a mission, but is deceiving himself for some reason. He's got clarity about what he wants, and he knows so much that he's a man on a mission, but he's deceiving himself in that. So the approach that he's taken isn't exactly going to get the divine feminine either. We're complicated, aren't we? One more for the masculine, please. There we go, the Chariot. Pulled in two directions, both going in different directions, that's what it's saying. So both going in different directions at the moment. The gameplay, the approach that both divine masculine and divine feminine are taking at the moment isn't going to lead them to each other. Both going in different directions. White horse one way, black horse the other way. What to do about it then? Let's go to the Book of Shadows Tarot. Is it ringing any bells for anyone here? Kind of is for me. I did kind of set a trap this weekend. I thought I was hopeful. But when I asked that question, it was to find out something, and I think I found out what I wanted to know, but it was kind of in the negative. Not that it's a negative thing, it's just not for me. Anyway, it's interesting messages. So we've got omens, which is the Tower card. Things falling apart, bring on the emotions, she says. Bring on the emotions, bring on the feeling, bring on the softness, bring on some feeling, the emotional side of things. So it could be that whatever's fallen apart is that he didn't step forward with something emotional, something feeling is perhaps coming across as very logical, especially if it's this King of Swords. It is very logical, coming across as very unfeeling and logical, and the very masculine. Nine of Air. The Nine of Air is about, probably not in this deck, but normally it's about anxiety and all of that stuff. But let's read it in this one. The Nine of Air is about runes. It's a bittersweet card. It promises great wisdom, but the weight of that wisdom includes suffering and sacrifice. Wisdom is not a right we're guaranteed. It's a reward, something earned. It does not always promise happiness. Right? We know that. The way to wisdom, the greatest lessons that we've had, doesn't lead us to happiness. It kind of does in the end, but it's not happy times that give us the wisdom. It's quite the opposite. So she wants the emotions from him. She's not getting that, but she kind of led him into a trap, and she's not got the emotions from him. And it's bittersweet. I've got this feeling like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, you know? You know when we set something up for the negative and then go, and then the negative happens, and then we go, I knew that was going to happen. As if we've got validation, as if we didn't just manifest it into the negative, as if we just got validation that we were hopeful and we thought it would work out, but then it didn't. And it was like a told you so kind of an energy. So she manifests something negative in the masculine, or what she sees as negative with a lack of emotion or something like that. But she's done it. The Five of Earth. The Five of Earth is about the power of water, of just chipping away, keeping on going, persistence. The water can cut through the rock because it's harder than rock. It doesn't appear so, but actually it is. It will defeat the rock given time. So the energy of just chipping away. The Crone of Air, closing the book on something, like just stopping it. There's something that we need to see in ourselves and stop. And the Book of Shadows. The Book of Shadows is the Hierophant. It's about learning something. It's spiritual lessons. Okay, so we're going through a lesson at the moment. It's got something to do with toxic feminine. It's got something to do with I told you so. It's got something to do with leading somebody into a lack of emotional state and then going, red flag, you did that. It's the... You see some couples doing this kind of thing. Leading someone into the kind of behavior that then you can say, I told you so. It's toxic. It's toxic is what it is. Book of Shadows, I need to read that out apparently. Book of Shadows is the Hierophant. Here we go. The sacred is brought to light and made known. Most of us begin with a blank book. The book holds nothing. Nothing except every possibility that exists. Just as we create our future with each moment we live, so we create our personal magical journey with each page of our Book of Shadows we fill. The world is our classroom. What lessons will manifest and shape your path? There's some understanding to be had from this situation that we're in, of how we manifest the negative when we think that we're manifesting the positive. And the path. The path is about walking our own path. It's the Hermit card. We've each got our own path to walk. The path is more based on our own psyche and the things that we've learned and all of that kind of thing. And the elements, it's definitely about what we're manifesting. So we're getting positive feedback that we can manifest it. But this is like the universe saying, but did you really mean to manifest this, Divine Feminines? Because I don't think this is what you actually wanted. You're manifesting it really powerfully. But the start card was like this hope. Hoping for the positive, but then manifesting the negative. Just be careful. Be careful at the moment, because you might be manifesting the red flag showing up. We can all draw bad behavior out of people by focusing on it. We can lead people into it. We can easily. You can get any kind of behavior out of any person, really. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, Andrew Huberman, the latest one, and very interesting, because they were both like pointing out that even though we might say, oh no, I don't have any of this thing or that thing within us, we actually do. We have everything within us, because there's been experiments done, and it always holds true no matter who the person is. When they put people in the position of one having power over the other, the one that has power over the other gets really mean and does really nasty things. And it's everybody that does that. It's everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Put you and me into a situation like that, we'd do it the same, even though we think that we wouldn't. We do. And it's human nature, and we do have everything within us. And that's uncomfortable to admit to, because we don't want to think that we would. We like to think that we would still be empathic and all of that kind of thing, but we're put into a certain situation and that's how we react. And sometimes that brings us shame, that we react like a normal human being in certain situations. You know, when we get angry because someone makes us angry, we can feel ashamed for that, but we shouldn't feel ashamed for it, because it's human behavior and we can't go against that, really. We can become more aware of ourselves and the choices of not getting ourselves into those situations in the first place. But what this reading is saying is that sometimes we get to do this so much that we're actually creating what it is that we don't want. So be careful. You might be creating what it is that you don't want. Let's get some cards out for Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. Let's see just the energies. Okay, Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine first. Divine Masculine, please. Give us some cards of Divine Masculine. The Venom. Okay, and the Gem. Two very different cards. So, you know this King of Swords, Ace of Swords, Seven of Swords, man on a mission, very clear about what it is that they want. They want the gem, right? They don't want the venom. There's a bit of mirroring going on here, isn't there? And Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine. So they're just looking for the sweetness and not the venom either. I just need to shut the curtains because the sun is doing its thing, coming over the hill, shining through my window. The Self and the Eternal Child. So they're kind of not regressing, but making it kind of all about themselves, which is a good thing. And the Eternal Child, their inner child. So they're getting very simplistic kind of thing. I just want the good. They could be, very switched on to toxic feminine at the moment with this Venom card. They might appear very selfish at the moment as well. But I think this is mirrored energy too. What about the Divine Feminine? Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine is the Shaman. Healing. And the Hunter. Someone in her sights. But there's a shaman there, it's an element of like healing and shape-shifting, changing who she is or her approach that isn't really herself. The Pilgrim, she's on a spiritual journey though, so there's a lot of learning going on for the Divine Feminine at the moment, learning about herself. The vision and gnosis. Interesting. So yeah, her vision for what she wants, and the wisdom that's coming from these lessons. Gnosis is about the point that we get to when we know something to be true and then it manifests. You know, we can try and manifest by really trying to believe something, but when we get to the point of like just knowing it, then it happens. And the point of getting to just knowing it is a big process. You know, I can just think in my own terms of like abundance. I just know abundance now. I don't need to think about it anymore. I don't need to try and manifest it anymore. I don't need to like convince myself or do affirmations or anything like that anymore. That was kind of the path to it. Now I just know and it happens. That's what gnosis is about. And okay, so what this is saying is for Divine Feminine, you still don't know it yet. You still don't know it yet about these relationships, which means that there's more learning to do on your part. Now you might know what I'm talking about here. Any of you that have kind of mastered something, you don't have a problem with it anymore. You just know it, right? And it's like, well, how did you get to the point of knowing it? And it's like, wow. If I asked that question, it's like, well, there's so many things. There were so many things that got me there. It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't just one thing I did. I had to learn a lot of things, and then it all just seemed to fall into place for me. And then I didn't have a problem with it anymore. So there's still work to do. We're doing so well. We are doing so well. We are doing so well. There's not that many people doing this work, you know. We're doing so well. We just need to keep on going. But with all of the positivity of the last couple of weeks in these readings, it seems to have taken a turn that they've both taken kind of away from each other, but more clear in knowing what it is that they want, but still setting traps for each other. That's what it is saying here. So that's what I've got. Thanks everyone for coming along. Check out my YouTube channel later because I'll be putting out a pick a card read. It will be a full tarot love spread, so subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to click like on this video before you click off as well. And have a good one, everyone. Let's do this all over again in 2 days' time, see if the energy's shifted. Let us all know what you're learning at the moment. Share what you're going through, if this is resonating with you. Hey, Maria. And yeah, that's what I've got. So thanks everyone for coming along. Short and sweet show there with a punchy kind of a message. Hope it helps you out, and I will see you all. You can any of those mini reads, the 1 question readings that are booked in now will be done in Wednesday's show in 2 days' time. So I'll see you all there. Have a good one, everybody.